Yeah, welcome. It's time to call. We can take people off and then you're doing the recognition.
Okay, do we need to
Just talk, you're fine.
Okay, hi there. My name is Rachel. I am Lauren's sister. I guess I get the privilege of kicking off week 6, our call tonight. And welcome. We're so excited to have all of our guest speakers on. I get to do the recognition of all of the fabulous advancements and awesome things that happened in this last week. So hopefully I won't butcher anyone's names, but we have Denise Wiggins, who had her highest cycle week ever. Aaron Parker crushed the exec pools, had to absolutely max out those bad boys. Kelly Small enrolled 6 people and is 1 enrollment away from Crystal Director. She is building a ridiculously amazing team of people, you guys. Janelle Grimm and Barb Kernan set up a great team event at the Therapeutic Salt Room. Doctors Mandy and Sam Vassallo had 3 new enrollments. Ty Christensen had 2 new enrollments, and he has a goal to grab 2 new enrollments every week and hit 1 star by December. Holy cow. Doctors Bo and Jamie Mullen with 2 new enrollments, and they got back to executive for the 2nd time. They already have shares in the pool this week, and they're gonna max out the pools this month and hit 1 star. Way to go, you guys. Brielle Amancio became a new consultant. Rachel Hitz had 3 new enrollments. Jeannie Nader and Sarah Manelik both with 1 new enrollment, and they got the free vitamins. Way to go, awesome job. Chris and Heidi West and Doctors Bo and Jamie Mullen both created new consultants. Mary and Jeff Coffey with 1 new enrollment. We have a ton of new consultants, Nancy Torres and Heather Stuviasant. I hope that's right. We had some tasting parties, Kim Silvius, Noelle Kowalik, Sandy Gilman, April Cialana, and Sarah Magnuson. And April Cialana did an ISA booth and got dozens of contacts for follow-up and actually enrolled 1 person on the spot. Awesome, awesome job. We've got double pibs for Chris Pietrowski, Jen Mitchell, Libby Valentino, Noelle Kowalik, Sandy Gilman, April Stiliana, and Rhonda Howen. And Chris Pietrowski enrolled 4 people again. Holy moly. He got the Team Builder coupon and $200 in pibs. He's also at the David Wood Amplified Train the Trainer right now in Vancouver. And continuing on, so many exciting things this week, you guys. Chris Marshall had 5 new enrollments. Way to go, Chris. Laura Laurie held an incredible Super Saturday in St. Louis, Missouri. Had 85 people in attendance for her first one. Way to go. Amanda Titterington is a new consultant. Julie Dorsey's a new consultant. Eric Dickman had 2 new enrollments. Miranda Meyer is 1 order away from Crystal Director. Absolutely hitting that. And Melanie Quinlan is crushing the exec pool. So way to go, everyone. Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Rachel. Jess, we're ready for you if you're on to introduce Tom.
Holy cow, there he is, one of my favorite people in Isogenics. I know I'm not alone in saying this guy rocks in every way. He was saying some things to me last night on the phone. My mind was like exploding all over the place. We're unstable. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can hear you, Jess.
Okay, perfect, excellent. So I'm so excited to introduce truly Isogenics Man of the Year. So if you guys don't know, there are 600,000 active associates in Isogenics. And even if you assume 80% of them are women, this man is truly one of a kind. He's a man of Isogenics, Man of the Year. He also has built one of the top businesses in Isogenics. He's truly an exceptional person with the most positive can-do attitude. And I cannot wait for you to be blessed by everything he has to say. With that, I want to introduce Tom Smith. Are you there, Tom? Oh, Tom, you might be on mute.
Mute. How about now?
There you go.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah, we hear you.
you know what? Well, let's just start this whole call off by saying if I can do this, everybody can do this, okay? So I had a hard time even getting onto the guster, and I call this Hollywood Squares. If anybody remembers the show years ago, this is exactly what this looks like. So we're getting some chuckles out there. That's awesome. Welcome and happy Monday, and thank you for having me on your call tonight. I really do appreciate it. You know, I wanted to hone in tonight on a few things. Jess and I did talk for a little bit last night. And first of all, what I really want to say is those rankings and what went on last week, and this team's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely super. Great job, everybody. That's you should be proud of each and every one of yourselves. But here's the thing. What I always believe in our 15 years now on our journey with Isogenics, okay, is that this all begins and will always end with a heart of service. And what I mean by that is this. What are we willing to do for our teams? What are we willing to do for our people in our organization? How are we willing to work with them all the time, to be with them, to serve and to serve? As I always say, and as we always used to say in the very beginning, if we hone in on this business, we don't ever have to worry about ourselves. All we do is focus on our people. We lock arms with the people that want to move forward. And that's a very important statement I just made there. Locking arms with the people that want to move forward, not the ones we think that can move forward. If we know in our heart that they're not really going to move forward, you have to go to another direction. You got to continue to work down your downline and help the people that want to move forward, because you only have so many hours in the day to really lock arms with those folks. And that's the most important part as we move forward. And that's all part of being serviced with the heart of service. What I believe the most important part too is our belief level. Where is our belief level? How strong is our belief level? It has to be so powerful and has to be so strong. It's like a concrete pillar. It cannot be knocked down. And the reason why I say that is this, is because as we go through our journey, there'll be so many people that we will talk to that will try to knock down our pillar. But here's what I say is this, guys, and you got to remember this and really lock into this really, really, really hard. The no's, as we move forward, will build our character. The yeses will build our business, okay? So the yeses is what we're looking for. It doesn't matter how many people we talk to, and it doesn't matter how many no's, and it doesn't matter what people say. If we have a strong belief level, we will move forward regardless of anything that's going to happen, okay? So that's one thing I always have to stress. Our belief level is so powerful. Our heart of service is so powerful. And then we got to turn this into our why. What is our why? Why are we doing this? What do we want? What do we want to achieve? We want to get the kids through college. We want to buy another house. We want to give. We want to give to charities and organizations. This is our why. It's strong. I always say to create that why, what we need to do is to try to visualize a circle and put yourself in the middle. You're the anchor. And write out each one of your whys. Write out 12 whys all the way around and let it come to you. Let them all come to you, all your whys. And your why will get so strong, and your belief level will be so strong, and your heart of service will be so strong that there's no way in God's creation that this will ever stop you. And that's what's coming back to this belief now. We must believe in our heart, 1,000,000,000%, that this is going to happen. This is what I'm going to do. This is who I'm going to help. These are the people I'm going to work with. I'm going to serve, and I'm going to serve. Somebody needs a three-way. Somebody needs a Zoom call. Somebody needs a one-on-one. Whatever it is, it's so important for us to go down our organizations and lock arms with the people that want to move forward. That is so important. And with that being said, they're my core feelings in my heart, and they've always have been and always will be. Been around a lot of people in this industry. I've been mentored by a lot of amazing people. And if I really go back to exactly what we began with, that's exactly what we began with, and that's what we end with. And we will never stop it. It is just a powerful, powerful tool. And if you put that in your heart, really put that in your heart, that you have that service and you're going to serve and you're going to do whatever it takes to help others. Help each and every one of your people. Ask them the question, where do you want to be? What are your goals? What are you willing to do? I'm here for you. What can I do for you? Don't worry about yourself. Do not worry about yourself. If Christine wants to go 1 star, And if Kim wants to go 1-star, or if somebody wants to become a consultant, manager, director, executive, as leaders, it is up to us to do whatever we need to do to make it happen for them. And I want to tell you something, guys. The honest to God truth, amazing things will happen to yourself. Amazing things will happen. And it's so powerful. It really is. So with that direction, that thought process, that's exactly where we're at here in Isogenics. We're all about serving others. We have a large organization. And I can tell you this, it grew because we duplicated our hearts within their hearts. It grew because they understood that we were there for them, okay? If there's one statement that I would ever hear, and I know each and every one of us on this call hears this all the time, okay? I'm not good at first talking to a person. I'm not good at sales. I'm not good at sales. I can't sell anything. It's not about selling. It's about sharing. It's about sharing our story. But there is one thing that I would say we do sell. There is one thing. It's our heart. It's our heart. Our heart, when they know that we care, really care, and we're going to be with them, they're going to do whatever it takes to make this thing happen. And that's the most important part. And that's what the best thing about being a leader and developing that same concept in the leadership. And then what happens is they become that leader, they develop their leadership, and the duplication continues to move on and move on. Tonight, I was strictly, really, in all honesty, wanted to speak from my heart. This is something that's been locked in my heart forever. This is the way I was brought up in this industry. This is what I was taught by mentors. And I don't see it any other way. I can't see it any other way. It's really a really simple business because we care. We care from the very beginning. Somebody just getting that box for the first time. And we're navigating them to the different websites, paint by number scenarios. Or maybe we'll give them a shout out after the first week and see how they're doing, or maybe day 2, just to review to make sure they know what they need to do. So they get that amazing results. Because here it is. This is a product that's visual and excitable. It's visual because I've been on it now, hypothetically speaking, say for 7 days. I'm starting to feel something happening. My jeans, as a woman's concept, my dress, okay, my suit coat, it's getting looser. Visuals because our friends and families or whatever have you, work acquaintances, are seeing us and saying, man, you look really awesome. What are you doing? That's our simple lead right into this whole thing. That's the product, okay? That's how the products work. You can't talk to somebody about Isogenics without one, talking about the product, and at the same time talk about the business, because they're together. There's 2 products in this company. It's the products and it's the opportunity. And the reason why I say is this. Because of network marketing and because of Isogenics, we're very fortunate that we're able to teach people how to get the products for free. That's either a worst case or best case scenario. I don't know which way you want to look at it, but both ways work for me, okay? By allowing our folks to get great results and teach them to get these products for free and moving forward, we have to really know that as leaders, if we teach enough people to get their products for free and they duplicate that, what starts to happen is amazing. That happens up the tree. This is just by teaching people to just get their products for free. We're not even locking into them becoming a consultant or a director or a manager or an executive or 1-star, 2-star, etc. Okay, we're just talking about getting the products for free. Because I got to tell you, anybody that falls in love with these products and create a relationship with these products and know that they can get these products for free, the data in our organization, I'm shifting over a little bit to the opportunity. The auditorship, the reoccurring residual auditorship, if our folks are getting their products that they're not paying out of their pocket on a monthly basis that they fall in love with, we're able to retain 92% of those people in our organization. Now, as each one of you know, and I heard some incredible rank advancements tonight and moving forward in consultants, if our people aren't getting the products for free, if we didn't do the job we needed to do to help them get the products for free, we're going to wind up losing 82% of those folks. See what our lock-in is it's so important, okay, to be an amazing product, to get the products for free, to move forward, to duplicate and teach them, to share with others with their story. And that's so important. So what I do a lot of times, what I like to do, and what I've always been locked into as a leader, is not only do I like to teach people how to get the products for free and serve them, but I always show them what that looked like. Like, say if a person is going to get the products for free, by the end of the month, they at least have to cycle minimally 3 cycles a month. Pretty much washes the cost out of their pocket for these products. And then on top of that, and this is just mathematics extended forward, okay? Showing them what that volume looks like as a leader. What does that volume look like? What does 3 cycles look like? What does the 1/3 leg look like? That's $900 worth of volume. What does the 2/3 leg look like? That's $1,800 worth of volume. Shooting back up. 3 cycles, the end of the month, their products for free. If we learn to stay at that conceptual base, at the basics part of this whole thing moving forward, oh yeah, we've got a lot more work to do, but this is just where it begins. This is just where it begins. I don't know how many people getting these products for free are going to get off auto ship. And that is retention. We're building a reoccurring residual income that's going to pay us week after week after week. And then we're going to move forward and we're going to just start building a dynasty by serving others and loving and caring others. And that's, Jessica, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. If you're still there.
You are so amazing. You are awesome. I love it. I love the heart of service, and that's the foundation.
Yes.
And you exude that. It's
I
everywhere
appreciate
and everything you do.
I appreciate
I
that.
love
It really isn't that complicated, right, kid?
It's amazing. Well, I love that. I mean, if people are really letting this sink in, if you help people get their products paid for, you will retain 92% of them.
Yes.
But the other side of the coin isn't so pretty. If they don't get them for free, 82% will go out the door.
This is true. This is true.
It's way hard. It's way easier to keep the people we already have than to grab brand new people only keep 18%.
Absolutely.
So good. Thank you so much, Tom.
Oh my
So
God,
awesome.
Jess. And you know what, too, guys? And one other thing I want to just let out. I probably could talk all night, and I don't want to, but the bottom line is here's Betsy. Hi, Betsy. How are you? I see you there. Here's the thing, okay? Events are so important to build our belief. I talked about belief, and I really mean this with events, okay? Events are so important. That's the glue that holds everything together within our soul. Okay, we see what's going on. We see the excitement. We see the energy. We see the young people. We see everybody moving forward and being blessed. And to me, it's such a focus for me to be at events or be on this call tonight or be on podcast or even jumping on a 3-way and being a fly on the wall. Whatever it takes, it all equals leadership. And what's going to happen, guys, when we become that leader, we're going to be twice the student. Okay, twice the student. And then we're going to develop leadership and we're going to be teachers of teachers. We got to really hone in on this. We got to understand that. This is what's so important. It's simple. It really is simple. But if you really want this, there are some things you need to do. And they're just a few little things that I just showed you. But I'll tell you what, it's amazing what happens. But it all begins again with your belief, your heart of service, and your why. Okay, Jess.
I love it. Thank you, Tom. Brilliant.
You're welcome.
Absolutely excellent.
Oh,
Thank you, Tom.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the call. That was awesome.
You're
You're
fabulous.
awesome.
God bless you all, okay?
Oh, we love you.
Thank you.
Bye now, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, that was absolutely amazing. And I love the numbers part of it all. So listen to the recording on that again, because he had so many valuable nuggets in that short blip. I want to introduce our product tonight, which is Noelle Kowalik, and she's in the Seattle area. Noelle is a mother of 5, and she has been homeschooling her children for 7 years. She also has a degree in food science and nutrition. So nobody better than to tell us about the ISA snacks and some other great, amazing products in our snack line in Isogenics. Noelle, take it away. Are you there? Noelle, did you unmute?
There.
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm so excited to talk with you guys today, and I've looked at some different snacks. The first one I want to talk about are the Whey Thins. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't gotten to try the Whey Thins yet. I can't wait to try them after doing a little bit of research on them. Here's what they look like. So that's the package. And look how fun they are. So I was really excited to learn about them, that they had, I mean, obviously it's called whey snacks, so probably they have whey protein in them, but they do. They have undenatured whey protein, 10 grams of protein. And something really awesome about them is that they are crunchy. So it's a great thing for a snack on a cleanse day, and I think particularly on a cleanse day when you're not getting anything else that has that kind of substance to it, that could really help with your cravings and that sort of thing, and just make you feel like you had a real snack. So I thought that was pretty awesome. They're also gluten-free, and anything that's gluten-free is helpful in my world because I have so many people I know who are gluten sensitive. The next one I'm going to talk about is fiber snacks. So I actually have tried the fiber snack, and they are delicious. So the thing that's great about the fiber snacks is they have soluble and insoluble fiber. As a nutritionist, I'm very interested in fiber and what it does to help with gut health. So that's terrific. And that's something that can be eaten by everyone, so for adults and for children. They also have a peanut-free flavor, which I thought was great because it means you can send it to school. The one that's peanut-free, you could send in your kid's lunch or send for a snack at the classroom. So that's pretty great. It has both protein and fiber in it, and it's kind of just a great thing maybe to have before a workout. Next, I'm going to talk about the Ice Lean Bar, and I won't say much about that. Probably a lot of us know about that, but it's another meal replacement, and there are 8 flavors, which I didn't realize there were actually that many flavors. One thing that I've done with those is split them in 2 for snacks for my kids. For me, I absolutely love they don't weigh you down, so I absolutely love having half of one of those before a workout because it just gives me a little bit of protein and sends me on my way. So that's awesome. They also have a dairy-free option with that, and the dairy-free option is gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, so that's fabulous. That will just hit all those sensitivities people have. Okay, my super favorite, Isodelight. And what I think is so great about these is it looks like the chocolate they're going to put on your pillow at a hotel. I just love that. Use them on cleanse days also. 4 grams of fat or less. They have green tea extract in them, amino acids, antioxidants, and B vitamins. So it's like healthy food, but it's chocolate. So I love that. They recommend those more for 18 and older. And something I noticed that was kind of cool in the materials is they recommend those for a mid-morning snack or an early evening snack. Just something to kind of take the edge off on your cleanse days. So that's great. And then any day for an afternoon snack or dessert. And I have grabbed them. The last one am I okay to do one more? Okay.
Yes, for sure.
The last one I'm going to talk about is actually the snack. I have a lot of people ask me what is the snack when they're trying to get the 30-day. And, the snack is just a little wafer. So it kind of looks like that. So they're yummy, kind of crunchy and delicious. They're chocolate and vanilla, and they have a berry flavor too for vegan. And I really like those. And it's something that on a cleanse day particularly, I'm like, oh, I just need a little bit of something. And you know what? I'm going to do one last one. I'm trying to be pretty quick. But this was one that I didn't know anything about before. Sheriff Petrosky did something about it, but this is the Isa Crunch. I've recently been putting some things like that into my shakes, and so I was really interested to see we had a product like this in the snack line. And the Isa Crunch, she said, is not terribly crunchy, but it contains all 20 amino acids. It has easily digested protein, and you can put it on salads, soups, yogurt, and anything like that. So I think that's most of the ones I wanted to highlight. I'm sorry I'm in such a rush. I'm between soccer practices, and I'm sitting in a parking lot with 4 cars, like people looking at me like, why is that woman talking so animatedly into her phone? So anyway, I hope that was okay. Thanks for letting me talk on snacks today, guys.
Thank you, Noelle. That was awesome.
Noelle, thank you so much. That was fabulous. This is Janie, and I'm going to be introducing our next speaker, who is Chris West, and he is a 2-star Golden Circle, 2-star Crystal Executive. They have Heidi and Chris West have they've blown up their business. They were in the top 5 of the leadership pool earners at NYKO after just joining last summer. They also are the winners of the President's Quest 2016, which is so exciting to me. It's one of 8 businesses out of the entire company that have blown that up and won President's Quest. But he's married to the incredible and beautiful Heidi West. They are proud parents of 3 kids that are ranging in 16 years from, I think, 4 all the way up to, I don't know what that is, 20, 4 up to 20. And so Chris graduated from the University of Washington in 2001. He got a degree in business administration with an emphasis in informational technology and entrepreneurship. He's worked the last 12 years for a Fortune 500 company as a technology consultant. And he was also a small business partner for 4.5 years in the aviation industry. He's passionate about family and travel and being a fly fishing guide instructor. And he's a trademarked fly tire. So Chris, thank you so much for talking to us about belief. We sure appreciate you.
Thanks, Jenny. That was a really nice introduction. I hope I can live up to some of that. So we've been talking about belief for going on 6 weeks now, and Tom was a perfect segue into my piece today. I love that. But I want to just get really real and do more of an exercise than anything else. We've had some incredible belief speakers, and I know, pretty much every week there's been somebody that's knocked it out of the park, Lauren most recently. And so I thought, okay, why don't we just do a little bit of a self-assessment to make sure that everybody knows where they are on the belief meter. And if you've been to an event, maybe you've done this before, but I think it's really important to go back and dive into the 4 different pillars that exist that are out there. So for those of you that don't know, I actually want you to get a pen and paper right now. I'm going to switch it over to gallery view so I can see who's on here. Like literally, I can see you. So grab a pen and paper and just humor me for 1 second. On that pen and paper, I want you to write products, company, industry, and self. Luckily, I have 100% participation here. Okay, so in a 10 out of 10, I want you to go through and list 10 out of 10 for each of those 4 pillars of belief. Where are you right now? And be truthful. Nobody else is going to look at your paper. There won't be any quiz afterwards. Be really open and honest with yourself. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm just going to segue for a second. So let's just talk about belief. Belief in general, forget about isogenics right now, is why you do anything that puts you into action. So if it's the belief that your children come first, you will dictate yourself and your sacrifices and your entire world around those kids. If you don't have kids, you may have belief that when you go to work, you'll get paid. And if you get paid enough, you can go self-indulge in some sort of passion, activity, self-interest, make your life what you're hoping it to be. You believe that this call is successful, so you're going to join it. Or you believe that listening to me is going to enlighten you somehow. What's most important through this whole thing is to understand that isogenics is relatively new, especially for a concept coming from a corporate trained person with network marketing and everything else, and I'll get into that. But as far as belief, to say you believe is too shallow. What you need to understand is that you need a compound belief across all of the pillars. And more importantly, you need to continue to replenish your existing beliefs so that you sustain your values and ultimately feed the pillars that need a little bit of work. So, one of the examples there would be when people start and they have an incredible product result, of course, they're going to share the products. They're a 10 out of 10. They just had a massive transformation and they're going to talk about it. So it's relatively easy to start people on the products and hopefully they can share in those same results. But what you're missing is that if you're still a 10 out of 10 in the product and you're not a 10 out of 10 in all three other areas, the industry, the company, yourself, you're essentially risking those pillars to contaminate your 10 out of 10 and back you down. And we'll just call that erosion of your existing 10 out of 10 pillar. So, you know, what that ultimately will come to is that you'll be one no away, or one sarcastic remark, or one failed launch party, or one failed phone call or product result away from quitting. And that's what we want to get in front of today. So what I really want to do is put in our forefront, in our mind, and look from a third-party perspective, where are we right now? Okay, so in terms of those pillars and the domino effect, you know, pillars to me are, they sound pretty sturdy. Tom put them in concrete, so that's a good start. But to me, I think of like an Italian monument where one pillar goes down, it's going to be a domino effect. What I want us to focus on is building a brick wall of belief. I want a foundation from bottom to top. And what happens if you don't have that, or if you have one little chink in your armor with your belief, could be catastrophic to your experiences today and where you're going to go forward. And I have a ton of examples that are on this paper in front of me here. You know, we had person A that had a killer product result. They love the company. They've been to events. They're already successful in themselves, but they couldn't handle the network marketing piece. It tainted their entire existence. They've completely backed off on what their success was and have gotten lost in the fact that they can't get over the network marketing, and they're unwilling to advance in that. You know, I have examples of several team members that had great product results, but they don't have the belief in themselves, and that belief in themselves ultimately took them down, and some of them don't even use the products any longer because they had a sideways comment come from a loved one. We have people that love the company and the industry and themselves, but they haven't had product results yet. They haven't tried enough products to figure out the one that is going to change their world just because they're interested in what somebody else had, and they haven't gone through all of those. And most importantly, what I want to get at is you could be a 10 out of 10. You could have perfect success. Let's just call that a 40 in all 10. But if your business starts to stall, or you're frustrated that you're in a particular spot and you've been there for too long, that's probably a reflection of yourself. That's probably your own unwillingness to acknowledge that and do some personal growth in some areas, and that is going to erode what was a 40, belief rating, and take you down a little bit. Maybe that'll take you down in yourself through network marketing, and that may leach onto your other pillars. So we need to be really cognizant of that. So in terms of this exercise, let's build our own belief spectrum, and let's build our brick wall. So I can't actually see myself because I've got kind of some crazy technology issues here, but I want you on your foundation, on the bottom, I want you to put your highest belief level, whatever that is. And this is just a sample. Hopefully this is coming through okay. And I want you to build this wall bottom up. Okay, so as you're doing that, you may have something that doesn't look like a wall. You may have something that looks like a pyramid, and that's an issue. What I found in my own personal example is that coming from corporate, my issue was network marketing the entire time. I love Isogenics. I love the products. The products gave me my beautiful life back. If I ever have any sort of hesitancy, if this is going to work for us or any of our team members, the first thing I do is I cognitively understand that's a belief issue, and then I go right to my 10 out of 10 and I sustain that and think, okay, network marketing may have a little bit of some weird voice in my head about it, but I know first and foremost, those products rock and they got our lives back. And I released 36 pounds and I put on 7 pounds of lean muscle and da-da-da-da-da. So I will instantly go and create some shoring up of my existing belief, and then I'll dive into what network marketing, this facet is elusive to me that I need to go out there and search for. So how do we do that? Well, if you have a product issue, or maybe you've been on the products for more than 6 months and you've forgotten what it's like to do a solid 30-day or cleanse once in a while, or just the benefits that got you going when you first started, maybe it's time to look again, because you think that you're a 10 out of 10 because you remember what your experience was. But realistically, you might need to go back and recreate that. So do you get those vibes back in your body? If it's the company, go to an event. NYKO and Celebration are the absolute best. And if you haven't done that yet, you have to get there. The industry itself, plug in a podcast. I've listened to lots, way too many that it's stalled us when we first got started because I was too interested in listening to podcasts and actually getting out there and getting in action. Go listen to something from Jim Rohn, Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Eric Worre, David Wood, or just Google something and go out there and start self-serving so you can cut off your disbelief at the pass and build a 10 out of 10. And then if it's yourself, go to University in Action. It was the first event that Heidi and I ever went to. Absolutely amazing. Totally focuses on yourself. You do get a little bit of the other portions of the company, but when you come out of there, you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And, ultimately, huddle with your mentor, and really start looking outside in on why you think this might not be for you, or what's really holding you back and why don't you deserve this, and really start getting through the onion. Because if you're not building that belief as a 40 out of 40 and everything else, you're essentially stalling yourself, and you're shortcoming your future and your immediate success and future success for what's going to happen in this great endeavor that we've all started. So, as my final word, when you're sustaining the perfect 40, you have unshakable attitude and posture, and that's going to come out in all things that you do. And when folks hear that, you make a permanent impression on them. And it's one of those things where they will come back to you when they're ready to experience that same positivity and that same conviction that you have. So make a commitment today. And I just to get you engaged, can you make a commitment with me? I want the conviction that essentially you will grow and advance your knowledge to ensure your 10s stay 10s and your 10s make 10s in all areas of belief. And just do this if you're with me. It's all good. I appreciate your time.
Chris, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I felt like I was at ICU just then. I love the visual about the brick wall. Definitely amazing. People listen to that. It's so true. Having the belief is everything in all 4 areas. So I just loved it. Thank you. You guys, tonight we're so fired up. Lauren Sims, she is rockstar trainer tonight for you guys and all of us. We're going over sharing and follow up, getting new associates started, kind of the fundamentals. Janny and I talk a lot about basketball fundamentals in this business, and learning to dribble and do these other very basic things before you're at the game winning point or whatever. But the bottom line is Lauren is, she was a clinical nutritionist. Maybe she still is, but I think that's, she's focused on her Isogenics business and her team currently. And she's been a fitness professional for over 15 years. She loves to work out. If you watch her Facebook, she's always posting about going to hot badass yoga every morning or whatever she's got going on. And she's always living out loud with that ISO product. So I absolutely love her posts. She's a member of the Start 1000, of course, Start Ambassador. She was number 6 on the President Quest, an incredible honor in Isogenics. That just means she has a massive momentum team growing constantly. She's been to Top Achievers. She's been an ISA Derby winner. She's a rising star. She's personal leadership awards after awards, and she's been a top pool earner. So with all of those accolades, she is the one teaching on this tonight. And you guys listen up because you're in for a treat. Get your pen and paper ready because she talks fast. You might have to listen to this call again to get it all, but it's worth it. She's going to speak golden nuggets to you tonight. So Lauren, take it away, baby.
Betsy, thank you. You're so funny. I literally was thinking I should probably slow down because I just had coffee and an e-shot before I came down here. So some girl already rolled her eyes. I just saw that. She's like, oh gosh, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Chris, you just nailed it. That was awesome. I'm like sitting here, like looking at everyone at my house. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is good. This is so good. This is so good. And I love that just whole overview of how all of the beliefs are so intertwined. So thank you for that. And I love, Noelle, everything you shared with us on our snacking options. I think it's great. Sometimes we, forget to look outside of what PK calls our sick products, Shake, Ionics, and Cleanse, and just everything else that's available. So fantastic. And I know Tom is no longer on our call tonight, you guys, but everything he said, I mean, that like makes my eyes water. And I just posted in our thread, but really what this is like about truly giving and knowing your why. And when your why can be altruistic, when you take a go-giver mentality, I mean, you really truly are unstoppable. And I remember when I first started working with Janny and things that she would say to me and things she would say to Jess, and I know things that she said to all of you, like she genuinely cared about our success, regardless of any impact on her. She did not do things for how it would benefit her, and I could feel that, and I trusted her, and I was coachable. And the things that she wanted me to do, I did because I truly knew in my heart that it was for my best interest, that it wasn't for a way that it could benefit her. So I really hope that some of the things Tom said to you kind of suck in and you really get it. And before we dive into the hardcore 90-day training tonight, I just wanted to, first of all, just say kudos to all of you guys for staying committed. I'm looking at the people that are with Denise and Jess. I'm looking at the people with Jen and Adam, that you have really embraced this belly-to-belly concept and getting together and hanging out together and following through. I mean, we're just coming up on the halfway mark, and to see you guys still, staying loyal to your goals and in this momentum, just huge praise to you. I mean, it's just fun to see so many faces and all this energy every single week. And I also just want to always say, I mean, things happen, and I'm sitting here right now, I was literally praying right before Betsy introduced me, because a girl that was on her way here just was in a car accident. She's like, I'm so sorry, don't kick me out of the group. I'm like, are you nuts? Like, are you okay? Like, we should leave and come get you, but things happen. And so just know that every single one of us is super understanding that life happens. But that being said, if you guys have not already logged into your back office, when you go in under the training center, we're at week 6 of the 90-day game plan. And so each week you log in, it has you enter your member ID, and you can kind of follow along with what are your goals, what are your commitments, what are the things Isogenics is going to have you focus on so that you're learning this skills-based business and achieving the goals that you want for the 90-day game plan. And this week's topics are sharing, following up, and then also how to get new members or new customers started. And I'm just gonna go through each one a little bit individually, but I'll tell you, I just came back from a Super Saturday in St. Louis, and one of the panel questions I was asked was, when you run out of your warm leads, right? When you run out of your friends or family, which I don't think is possible because you make friends all the time, but how are you meeting new people, right? That was one of the questions I was asked. And I was thinking that one of the ways, just like Betsy says, is I live my life out loud with Isogenics. And what I mean by that is I'm not walking around always with an Isogenic shaker bottle or Cleanse for Life bottle. I do not wear green, bedazzled, blingy shirts everywhere I go, right? That's not what I mean by how I live my life out loud, but I'm talking about it. I'm energetic. I'm not out in public yawning. I don't look exhausted. I'm not a Debbie Downer. I don't have so much negative energy or stress that people are, pushed away from me. I'm excited and I'm in love with life, and I'm embracing this freedom and my health and everything that comes with it. And I compliment people and I make conversations with people. And so when you're genuinely connecting with someone and people can ask what you do, and you can take the time to find out what they do or listen to them maybe vent in a way that you can share an opportunity with them, there's going to be people absolutely everywhere. I'm going to take this one other step further when I say that I live my life out loud with Isogenics. I try not to be rude and obnoxious, but I do schedule 3-way calls during times that I'm going to go get a pedicure, because I know that someone is going to be on my left and someone is going to be on my right, and inevitably they're going to hear me cleanse coach someone, or they're going to hear me, introduce a president's pack. They're going to hear me do something that someone's going to go, what do you do? Can you help me with weight loss? I heard what you were doing. Can you tell me more about that? And so I don't want to be the loud, obnoxious person, that's on my phone, but I will have conversations in public. When I first started with Isogenics and I was listening to Eric Worre, one of the things he said that stuck in my head was that you're not going to meet people in your kitchen. And network marketing can be really isolating, as an entrepreneur, and you can run your business. I mean, some people I know have closet offices, or you're trying to do this at your kitchen table or in your car when the kids are at practice or whatnot, and you're not going to meet people. And so I make it a point to go to different gyms, go to different coffee shops, and go out, and I'm working my business in public so that people can start to see what I'm doing, that I don't have a 9 to 5, hear me on the phone, see me using the products, see myself doing presentations, that it will bring up conversations. Jessica did an amazing job last week talking about how she sends private messages and how she sends text messages. And so I wanted to give you some new information, but a lot of that is the golden ticket. I personally, when I'm connecting with someone, will not send a video until I've talked to them. I know a lot of times, people are like, hey, I thought about you. If I send something, would you take a quick look? And the reason I don't do that is because I don't know what to send them. I think about the girl that had $17 on her apartment floor, and Janny didn't send me a video. If Janny sent me Experience Isogenics, or if Janny sent me Why Isogenics, I probably wouldn't have even watched it. But Janny got on the phone with me, and she asked me about what I wanted, and she got to my why, and she casted a vision for me on how my life could be, that by the time she sent me Experience Isogenics or, Enterprising Women, I wanted to watch all 20 videos because I already had belief. I already saw what could happen. And so when I connect with people, right, and just like Jess said, if you see someone that looks amazing in a dress, or someone that has great shoes, or someone that's, traveling, or for whatever reason they catch your attention and you message them like, oh my gosh, you popped up on my newsfeed. That's so strange. I've been thinking about you anyways. I'd love to catch up. I don't say anything about Isogenics. I really am trying to build that relationship, and I'm not concerned about if I enroll them today, tomorrow, and the next week. What I'm concerned about is getting on the phone, getting to their goals, finding out where Isogenics can impact their life physically or financially, sharing my story, right? And then setting up a three-way call, setting a video, and getting to the close. And so I share Isogenics just a little bit different, but I would encourage you guys to focus less on what tool you're using in the beginning and more on what Isogenics can do for them. Getting to really know those people. The same way if someone came into town, right, and said, hey, I'm in Denver, where should I go eat? I'm not going to just send them like a Yelp page of all kinds of restaurants in Denver with 4 or 5 stars. Let's fix that. Okay, sorry. Right, I'm going to ask them questions. Well, what type of food do you like? Do you have to be gluten-free? Are you vegan? Do you want Italian? Do you want sushi? Like, I'm going to find out, and then I'm going to guide them in the right direction because I care about their experience. I'm not going to post what I love in Denver on them. I want to get to know them a little bit better. I just flew to St. Louis, and on the way there and on the way back, I got people's information. And not because I walked around in a green shirt with blingy Isogenics that people are going to ask, but I sit down and I build relationships, right? So coming back today, and someone asked if I was going to Denver for work or pleasure. They actually asked me the question. And I said, I'm actually headed home. I'm just leaving St. Louis. And they said, oh, were you here for work or pleasure? And I said, both. And they said, you must love what you do. And I said, absolutely, I love what I do. And I know not to make this about me, so I quickly did a U-turn. I started to ask him a lot of questions. Well, tell me what you do. Do you love what you do? How long have you worked for them, right? And I got into this whole thing. I found out that he's a marathon runner. So I said, what do you do to hydrate? How do you fuel for your runs? We got into this whole conversation, and then it went back and forth, and I didn't give him a sample of fuel on the plane. I didn't show Isogenics athletes, but we connected on Facebook. He's in Denver for a week. I'm like, we should grab coffee when you're here. It's fun to keep connecting. It's always about building that relationship. I personally am not a big sample monster. I'm not the person that's like, hey, here's this, here's that, try my products, because I think that Isogenics works as a system. However, when it's done right, I think it can be really a great way to introduce people to something. So I'll give you an example of just something that happened. But I was in St. Louis with Laura, and it was kind of a small mom and pop healthy grocery store we were in. And we're walking out, and Laura's like, bye, see you next week. Like, she knows the grocery people. And I just said to her, I said, are these people in your business? And she said, no, because she seemed like she really knew them. And I said, well, I think we should get them in your business. And she kind of looked at me, and I said, I think it'd be really fun to make them like a goodie bag of things like an e-shot or an Ice of Delight or a bar, some of those favorite products that just say, you're so cheerful and you have the best customer service. And these are some of my favorite things that keep me happy throughout the day that I just wanted to share them with you. And not that they can be like, oh my gosh, that e-shot was amazing. I didn't have to have my 3rd cup of coffee, or that chocolate like curbed all my hunger. Can you tell me more about that? So there's a lot of different ways, but I want you to take the most away from this entire call of what Tom Smith said. I had 5 different people reach out yesterday that were trying to go consultant that are like, I don't want to sell anything. I don't want to pressure anybody. I don't want to call anybody. I don't want to make money off of my friends. And the same conversation I had with all of them that I'm going to relay to you was, what was your life like before Isogenics? How has it impacted you? Imagine if Isogenics wasn't in your life, and why are you keeping that from people? If you know that Isogenics has changed your life physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, like, you really are doing a disservice to not tell other people. So just like Tom said, this entire company is, in his team, right, is because we love on people and we care about people. And if you come from a place of like, holy cow, Isogenics has rocked my world, and I want to tell every single person I know about it. I mean, when Jessica and I were enrolling 30, 40 people in a month, that's what we were telling people. We had no clue. I mean, she was in sales, I wasn't. We'd never done network marketing. But our conversations are like, every day this company is getting better. You know, we're getting leaner, we have more energy, our bank accounts are growing, we're screaming from the rooftops about it. Does anybody want to join us? And those were our conversations, not because we were trying to max out executive pools, right? But because we literally wanted everybody to have it. Like, my closest friends got a call because I said, I'm going to take this to the top, and I care about you the most. So why would you not be a part of this? Like, I want you to be on this journey with me. So when you are sharing Isogenics, just remember it as the biggest gift. Someone just told me Isogenics is the biggest present, and you can literally put yourself in a mindset like you've got the biggest present with the biggest bow, and you get the opportunity to pass it to somebody. And when you can shift into that, people are always going to say yes, because you are pouring love into them. You're pouring greatness into them. You are not selling anything. So that's going to kind of lead me a little bit into your follow-ups. Please, please remember that when people say no, they are not saying no, they are saying not now. The reason that they're saying no is because they're either afraid that they're not going to be successful, right? It's not good timing for them. They don't have the money. They don't think they have the time. They don't think they have the skill. Or they don't know that you're going to be around long enough for them to try it, right? But over that journey that you continue to drip and continue to build the relationship, you're building trust because they're seeing that you are consistent, that you're not going to go anywhere, and they're working on themselves, right? There's either going to be a time where the pain is more great than any of their excuses. There will be a time that they are it's more painful to be that overweight, right, than the fear of maybe not being successful. There will become a point when someone is so tired of their job, so burnt out, so overwhelmed that they are willing to make the time. But their journey, their time is not for you to decide. And so sometimes you might call people, and just like Jessica said, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and be like, oh my gosh, we're doing this September project. We're doing this great group cleanse. I'd love for you to be a part of it. Maybe they're feeling lean and mean. You know, maybe they at that time their jeans fit really loose. They've got energy, and they're going, no, I don't think it's for me, right? But 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, when you go, hey, I know you felt great after Labor Day, but we're getting ready to do a sexy and lean for Halloween challenge, and I just wanted to reach out to see if maybe this was something you wanted to be a part of, if October was a different time for you. Maybe you caught them on a day that they're PMSing, their pants are too tight, they're bloated, they've had a headache all day, and they're ready right there. They're going to buy a whole business builder pack, right? It's not up for us to decide when someone's timing is right. But over that time, people say things like, well, how often do you follow up, right? What are you saying in that time? If someone tells me no, they're getting ready to go out of town, or they didn't have the money, they've got to fix a car, it's just not for them, and I'm building that relationship, my messages on Facebook or on text aren't like, hey, we have free enrollment. Hey, pumpkin spice is out. Hey, do you want to join yet? Hey, do you want to do a 30-day? Right? Like, I'm talking to them that they know I care about them. So if someone said no, right, before the next time I follow up, I'm like, well, how was your weekend? What'd you guys do? Oh my gosh, that picture of you and Caleb was so cute on Facebook. Like, I love your date night, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, how was the wedding? How was your cousin's wedding? Right? We're talking, we're building a relationship. But then after 8 or 10 texts later, I can say, hey, I don't know if you saw that pumpkin spice was just released. It's my favorite shake. I just wanted to let you know it's available. I'd love for you to try it. I'd love for you to not, eat pumpkin spice, Starbucks every day and have an amazing nutritional superfood. And then they don't feel like I'm selling them because I've had a month or two of other conversations outside of Isogenics. That's long-term follow-up. The short-term, these are the statistics. And I just changed my Invisalign, so that is a hard word to say. I can hear the list as I'm saying that. Don't make me say it again. So short-term, the majority of people, more than 80%, will stop before the third follow-up or on the third follow-up. But the majority of closes, more than 80%, are after the sixth follow-up. And so what happens is I connect with Alex, right? We have this great conversation. I send her a video. We set the appointment for another call, and she misses the appointment. And what we do is say, oh my gosh, I knew she thought I was selling her something. I know she's avoiding me. You know, I'm totally bugging her. She doesn't want to do this anyway. And what happens is Alex has a sick little girl, and she couldn't get on the phone because she doesn't really put Isagenix as a priority in her life yet, like we do. Right now, her priority is being a mom. So if you have the courage to follow up a second time, and I might message her a day or two later and say, hey girl, I just want to make sure everything's okay. You know, I know we were scheduled to chat. It's unlike you to miss an appointment. I just want to make sure everything's okay. I still want to chat with you. And she would say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry. My little girl was sick and we rescheduled, right? So let's say she misses that appointment again. What happens is you guys are like, oh, I'm totally bugging her. I'm totally selling her. She doesn't want to do this. She's off everybody's list. And what we don't know is maybe she had a deadline at work. Again, Isagenix isn't a priority for her yet, right? So in my business hours, I'm like, oh, I got to follow up with Alex, right? And she has a deadline at work. She could care less about a conversation with me about a nutritional program. It's not a priority, right? Or maybe then the third time we actually do connect, right? She gets on the phone, but from the time that she was maybe first interested and we finally talked, maybe she had to pay a kid's tuition. Maybe she has a car repair and she's like, yeah, it sounds great, but I don't have $400 right now. I can't do it. I'd love to do it later on in the fall, right? It's up to you guys to keep track of your leads and follow up. And just remember, the majority, I mean, 75 to 80% will quit before or on the third follow-up, and 80% and above of all enrollments, of all closes, I mean, this is unanimous to sales, not just Isagenix, is after the sixth. Mortgage companies will say 8 to 11. And so you don't necessarily want to hound everybody, right? But building those relationships and being consistent. There are people that have come to me out of the woodwork sometimes and been like, hey, I know that you're still doing this. How do I get started? Like 3 years later. Or there's times that you call people and for whatever reason they weren't ready, and out of nowhere they come in with a president's pack. It is their timing. It is when the pain is great enough, right, that they want to make a change. It is when they are so burnt out that they don't have the excuse of the fear that they can't do it. You know, finances has changed, there's something. But along the way, I mean, you've got to be so rock solid, just like Chris was talking about with you being 10 feet tall and bulletproof, that you know you're not bugging them, right? As long as you're not, I mean, you know in your heart if you're actually caring about this person or if you're looking at them as just another enrollment. And know that it's just going to take time. I am unique that I have been in the health and wellness industry and I've been branding my Facebook since 2005 with health and wellness posts and recipes. I am unique. It was not unique, wasn't new for me when I got started with Isagenix to do that. But the majority of people, when you start with your social media, you come from a teaching background, you come from a psychology background, you come from a sales background, you come from being a stay-at-home mom, and all of a sudden you've got health and wellness recipes up, you've got pictures of product, you've got rank advancements up. Of course people are gonna be freaked out. They don't wanna be your guinea pig. They're like, what is she doing, right? It's new. But if you are consistent, right, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year, and those people are like, oh my gosh, she's really onto something, they'll join you. But you can't talk yourself out of that progression in the process of building those relationships. I mean, I remember when Jessica was first building her Facebook, and it was so different than what she had. And she would call me and she's like, oh my gosh, someone just unfriended me. Oh my gosh, someone just like judged my post. And we would talk her through it. And we're like, Jessica, like if you're going to make this change, you've got to be all in. You got to be all in. You know, let those people go so new people can show up. Who cares if someone unfriended you? Now go friend 10 new people, right? And she has amazing people in her business and organization from new people she friended, even though some people had to leave, which have come back and joined her. But it was her willing to get into the trenches and make those changes in the process of following up with people and letting her know that she was in it. It wasn't a short-term investment. And so the last thing, you guys, when you get new people started, I mean, just like, I almost said Jimmy, just like Tom Smith said, if we can get someone to consultant cycling 3 times a month, getting their products paid for. Another way I heard it is $500 in the first 90 days. We have a 90 to 95% retention rate. I remember hearing that at my first event, and I became on a mission to get people to Crystal Manager, because I was like, if I can get them $500 in 90 days, they're never going anywhere, right? Otherwise, what did he just say? Like, I mean, you turn the tables and like 82% are going to leave. I mean, that's more than 3/4 of your population. Look at your team right now, whether you've enrolled 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, 200 people. Imagine if everybody was active at the same time, right? Imagine if every single person was still ordering. Imagine what your business would look like. And so a lot of times people are frustrated. It's like, oh, they want me to go through their box with them, right? Or they're like, oh my gosh, I got to schedule that new associate interview. Oh, they're texting me again. I came from an industry that I was used to exchanging time for money. I was making $12 an hour with 2 bachelors and 2 masters. Personal training, once I did like, you know, as an independent contractor, all of my expenses, like my take home was crap, you guys. I mean, I may have grossed 55 or 60. My take home was $28,000 to $32,000. That is nothing. And so when I saw Pibs on a President's Pack, $80, and I remember immediately thinking, how many hours do I have to work to get $80? Right? How many tables do I have to wait on at the bar? How many shifts do I have to work out at a restaurant? How many clients do I have to see? How many spin classes do I have to teach? I knew at that moment I would have spent all of that time with those people because they were worth it. You do 2 in a week and it goes to 160. You have $320 for 2 people. I mean, divide that by $10, 10. That's $32 an hour, right? You're not going to spend 10 hours with them, but some of you aren't even spending 10 minutes with your cleansers. And we want business builders, and you want to attract in people that are going to become the next Tanya Kirkpatrick. You want to attract in a Laura Stevens. You want to attract in a Susan Sly. But guess what? They all started with rock star product experiences. Tracy O'Malley was not going to do this. She had an amazing product experience. And so when you're thinking about how to get people started, I love Tracy O'Malley's Day 14 talk. You guys can go to YouTube and look that up, but how she prefaces people that they might feel bad when they're cleansing, that she has a realistic expectation, how she's going to handle it when people compliment her, how she's going to teach them how to share. I mean, that is one of the best tools in all of Isogenics on what to do with your cleansers. But some of the things that I do that I'll share with you is that we, number one, have an amazing Facebook group. And I'll tell you, we have 4. We have a product page and a business page once you're enrolled. And we also have a product page and a business page for like prospects, if people are learning and wanting to know more about us. So I just talked to my Lyft driver home from the airport, right? He's looking at information. I threw him into my opportunity preview page. He's not enrolled yet. He doesn't need to see the whole comp plan. He doesn't need to see us talking about rank advancements, but it's a page that's full of inspiration and success that builds his belief as he's deciding if this is for him. One of the guys on the plane, the marathon runner, he went in to my testimonials page. It's a product prospect page. He's not enrolled, right? He doesn't need to see all the stuff happening when we're cleanse coaching someone, but he can see the products. He can see transformations. He can see success stories, that it's not just me sharing what's happening. Then I have, when people are enrolled, a product page and a business page. If you're just adding people to pages and not having a conversation about it, they are worthless tools. I've been added to so many legging groups lately. I know you all know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, the only reason I'm glad I'm in here is because now I'm going to prospect all of you. Thank you for putting me in this page. If I was not a network marketer, I would be incredibly annoyed, right? So think about, if I'm going to throw someone in there, like I told the guy in the plane, oh my gosh, I'm so glad we connected on Facebook. I'm going to add you to one of my favorite Facebook groups so you can see all the runners on my team that are killing their results with these amazing products. Right? I'm telling them what it is. So when you enroll someone, you're prospecting someone, if you're going to throw them in a Facebook page, teach them how to use it and tell them what it's about. The other thing I do is I give everybody a welcome call. For sure, my personally enrolled, but also in the downline. I block out 4 to 5 hours on Mondays, and I just call every single person, and I welcome them, and I introduce myself. I maybe share my 30-second story, and I just make myself available. You know, I usually try and find out who their enrolling sponsor is. So if, you know, Jen had enrolled someone, I'm like, oh my gosh, Jen and Adam are amazing coaches. They're going to take such great care of you. But I just wanted to make sure everything was good. If you had any questions, if you understood our Facebook pages, you know, if you ever can't get a hold of them or want a second person to bounce ideas off, I'm here for you. You know, talking about either the products or the business, every single person is getting a welcome call. And I would encourage you guys to do that. one of my leaders recently was like, well, if you call them, should I call them too? And I said, do you think anybody's going to be upset that they're getting too much love? What if 3 people in one day called them just to be like, we are so excited that you're doing this. Like, we love you. We care about you. Like, no one's going to run away from that, in my opinion. And it's realistically not going to happen, you know, but I think spending the time, you know, just making sure that nothing was missed. I recently found out someone way down on my team that ordered a President's pack, she didn't get her bars. We started talking, I was like, what bar flavor? And she's like, what bars? And she didn't get her bars. I mean, mistakes happen. So we called Isogenics, and they actually sent her 2 boxes as an apology because they were upset that they didn't get it. I mean, that's our world-class customer service. But I think, you know, what if I didn't do the call? She would have never known that she was missing bars probably. She didn't realize that that was something that should be in her system. I think that we all need to be getting people into Healthy Mind and Body and into IsaBody. You guys, the statistics are amazing on retention. They're amazing on higher BB orders and just their overall experience. I have an Excel sheet and it's like a checklist. Did they get a welcome call? Did they get added to the Facebook group? Are they in Healthy Mind and Body? Are they in IsaBody? Like, and I stay on them. Some people are like, I can't register for Healthy Mind and Body. They just bought a President's pack. It's $40. I'm like, no worries, I get it. Right? A few weeks later, I'm like, hey, did you ever enroll in Healthy Mind and Body? Like, go back to them. It's not a one-time conversation. I've had people 8, 10 times before they enroll in IsaBody. I was with Isogenics for 2 years before I first enrolled in IsaBody, right? So just continue to stay on them. And the last thing is the new associate interview. If you're not using it, you guys read it first. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of redundancy. It's like 5 pages, and I made it into 1 because it asks the same things a lot of different times, but it guides people to find out if they're going to stay on auto ship, if they're interested in an event, if they want to do the business, if they want to refer people to you, whatever it may be. But it is so, 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 so helpful. And the few people that I've done it on when I've really decided to start using this have had a better experience. We've had better retention. So I think that there's a lot of ways to support your new associates. I'm just talking about the product users. Just make sure they have a great experience. Tell them about your favorite products. Sometimes when people, you know, had a great cleanse day, I send them a card. Just like I send a card when someone goes consultant, I send a card like, congratulations on knocking the mess out of your cleanse day. I love that you've released all this weight. I'm so proud of you. And sometimes I'll send them a sample of one of my favorite products. So I might send them sleep support, right? Or I might send them a couple bars of different flavors that I don't think they have. Or I might send them a bunch of greens, something that they can sample something and they're excited. They get something that's like, oh my gosh, right? So just love on them. I think we all have different checklists. I think we all have different systems, but no matter what, just remember that 80 to 90% of your entire business is the product users. And while you want the business builders and you want the Susan Sly in your team, think about those PIVs, think about those cycles, think about what you're earning, and those people are worth your time. They're worth the text message, the Facebook message, the email. You know, we don't have to drag people, and I realize it's not a complicated system, but love on them, support them, cheer them on. Do celebratory calls. If someone's not having a great experience, put them on the phone with someone that maybe can relate to them. Do whatever you have to do, but just know that there are people that really want to do this. And it's a lot of money that they're investing, and you are really hurting this company and your entire team if you send them the brown box and send them on their way. There's so much more that comes into this, and you are obligated, if you are sponsoring people, to make sure they have an amazing product experience, that they're loved and they're supported, and that you do end up casting the vision and showing you +2 with them. So with that being said, I'm going to bring Jessica back to the call. I know she's going to fire you up with some homework, and she's got a massive close for us.
Awesome. Wow. That was amazing. I've been your accountability partner for almost 3 years, and I've seen you train a lot of times, and that was the best that I've ever seen, and I've always see you at a 10. That was 100. I'm so impressed. I am so impressed, and I'm so fired up, and I'm going to go follow up with some people. Guys, here you go. So this is what we're going to call the Janny Elo special, because I feel like we have not been amazing at making ourselves accountable for homework. We come on Monday nights, we get amazing training. Does everybody agree? It's amazing training and inspiration. It's been awesome. Are we driving towards our goals? That means doing the activity from Monday when we leave until Sunday when the week closes to drive to your goal. So I was talking to Janny about what should the homework be? Why did Lauren and I go so fast? She connected the two of us as accountability partners. And even though we're not financially linked, we literally went for goals at the exact same time. And she would call me and say, Lauren's going for Crystal Executive by Sunday. Are you in? And I would look at her and go, I've got 4 consultants. I don't think I'm Crystal Director yet. And she's like, go for it. And we would go for it. So the part of your homework is find an accountability partner who's going in the same direction and wants it like you. It does not matter if you're financially connected. If you're on my team and you're on Lauren's team, link up. The most activity we've ever seen in our business was when we put people together on a thread that were running for director in the same week, that were running for executive in the same week. Go find your accountability partner and on the page, put it on there. I loved her idea for Laura Laurie about putting sample packs together. 3 people, guys. You're going to drop samples off for 3 people. Okay? This is my team. Y'all hear that? 3 people we're going to do samples for. So 3 people, you're going to just surprise and delight. Report on the page when you've done it. And you're going to go through your list again, redo it, and follow up. Follow up, because today may be the day that the person who said no to you 100 times, who's never responded to you, feels enough pain that they're looking for it. And if they don't know that you're serious, that you're committed, that you're willing to go, make it not about you, make it about them. You care enough to follow up one more time. This could be the day you enroll someone. Because imagine, have you ever heard Susan Sly's story? That person took courage to go and follow up with her one more time. And Susan Sly created 100,000 some people in this company. So think about that. So those are the pieces of what we're going to do. You're going to find an accountability. You're going to declare it. I don't care if you're financially linked to that. I don't care if they're in your upline and your downline, cross line to you on a completely different team at Isogenics. Make them your accountability partner. Do what Denise Wiggins does, where she's met someone at UIA and she keeps holding them accountable, and they to her. And they keep flying together. She doesn't even barely know this person except for an event. Will you be my accountability partner? I will be yours. That's number 1. Number 2 is sample packs for 3 people. Drop off one thing and just say, I think you'd love this. I saw your complaint. I heard your complaint. I think you'd love this. Drop it off. I love you so much. This is one thing I love. I wanted to share it with you. Oprah's favorite things. It's now your favorite things. And then the third one is you're going to go back and you're going to follow up with someone that you probably feel uncomfortable following up with again, because they've said an adamant no. They've never responded. Go do that as many times, as much money as you want to make, as much lives as you want to impact. Do it that many times. And I want you to share all of this on the page. And let's hold each other accountable to have the most amazing week in all of the fast tracks, the weeks that we've done. Make this the week. And with that, let's end this way. Everybody ready?
All right, guys, get ready. Everybody do it on your side. It's a yes, we can. Yes,
Yes, we can.
yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can, guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye, guys. Good night. Love you all. Thank you.
That was really